What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of Matter of Time. Today I'm here with the rising star, Tinkaa G.
What's up? What's up?
Tinkaa, how you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I feel like I'm all sitting up and shit. Let me get comfortable. I'm good.
That's good. Mm-hmm. So you ready?
Yes.
All right, so tell the people where you're from.
I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. I'm born in Newark and raised in East Orange.
Well, can you set the scene of what it was like growing up there?
Basically where I lived on a block where it was a lot of kids and stuff. So my neighborhood definitely was it wasn't too bad, you feel me? Okay. But we always had a lot going on. I know growing up I was in the church. I definitely performed in the school choir. Okay. So it was kind of a lot to do in the neighborhood of East Orange type shit.
So what do you feel like growing up there taught you?
I feel like it taught me how to socialize. Definitely. It gave me a lot of experiences when I was younger too, just as far as getting out there and performing. So I'm gonna say it taught me how to be confident and then also meet new people.
Right. So would you say it made it easier for you to kind of maneuver in the world outside of East Orange?
Yes, definitely. Okay. I'm gonna say I went to a middle school, performing arts school, so I had the blessing of meeting people from all over. We did trips out of state. I met people of all different races growing up, so it definitely taught me how to assimilate with people and have different conversations.
Right. So let's talk about that a little bit, because a lot of our people, when we come from urban neighborhoods and we only around us, it kind of makes it harder for us when we get out in the real world to try to communicate with different people.
Facts. From
different cultures and different backgrounds. So that's definitely, I feel like it definitely helped you create an advantage to be able to talk to anybody and work under anybody. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people got to learn how to do that so in order to maneuver in the real world. So, so now we're speaking on you growing up. So when did you discover that you had a passion for music?
Well, I've been singing since I could talk. My family always tell me little stories of how I used to just be in the house screaming at the time, but my mom tell me, I was trying to sing or whatever. So ever since I was little, I kind of had a love for music. I always wanted to try it because it was always around me. So. Right.
So tell us what it was like to grow up in a household where music is all around you.
All right, it's waking up to bass bumping through the freaking basement floor. I had a studio in my house, so the studio was in the basement. In order to get there, you had to walk through the living room, through the kitchen, then you walk down to the basement. So it was going down to go get a snack, and you got an artist coming through, rapping or whatever, or coming down the stairs, and there's a party in the living room. It was definitely very, very social in my household. But just growing up, just literally hearing music through the floor, as I'm growing up, it definitely inspired me to want to do it. Cause it was I absorbed it, you feel me? And it was definitely a vibe just seeing everybody have a good time. There was never no bad things going on in our studio. You know, everybody got their little stories and stuff, but I can honestly say my family kept it together, so.
That's what's up. And I understand you. I know what that's like because I come from a family where everyone's very passionate about music. My dad and my grandfather have worked in radio. My dad's worked in radio for over 20 plus years.
Oh, that's hard.
And then I got a brother who's an artist. So music was all around me coming up. I remember when I was 4 years old and I had my first favorite song. And they could tell you stories of me running around the house just bopping my head. My favorite song was Hustling by Rick Ross. That was my first ever favorite song. So as you can see now, I'm doing a podcast now where I want to work in the music business myself and take it even further than what they did, because that's the goal. You know, the younger generations come up in the family. You want to be better than the previous generation.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So what would you say you learned from your family in terms of music? What did you learn from them?
I know one thing that I learned is consistency is definitely key.
Right.
Because I said, my dad, he worked a lot. So he had sessions going from the morning all the way to the night. It definitely taught me discipline too, because my dad, he didn't let me record unless I had good grades. I didn't really get in trouble in school, no fighting or anything like that, but my family definitely knew when I was slacking versus when I was working hard. So it just taught me, music, it's a part of life, but it's also a reward, per se, everybody, it's a gift, you feel me? But the last thing I would have to say is it taught me to keep going. Because my family, during the time when I was growing up, I looked at them as like the superstars or whatever. And to see that they had to slow everything down because, you know, you had kids and stuff.
Right.
It's like you never really got to see your potential. So like, I feel like my goal is to keep going, never stop, you feel me, and to really see like the boundaries that I could push and to really show like my family, people around me, the community that like you can get whatever you want. You just got to keep going type shit.
Right. For me, I would say I know exactly where you're coming from. I learned those same life lessons growing up. I always loved music, but when I was coming up, I was playing sports. I was playing basketball, and like you, like if I wasn't disciplined with my grades or consistent, everything was getting taken.
Facts. That shit hurt though.
Everything was getting taken away. It's like, dang, but it's like, and you know, it sucks in the moment, but it's like when you get older and then you get out into the real world, and then you see that people don't have that same consistency or discipline or drive, and they're looking at you like, wow. And I'm looking at my parents like, thank you.
Fast, because at the time it was like, you blowing me,
like,
but
thank you. So over the years, how has music been an outlet for you?
Music has definitely been like the main source of like my happiness, to be honest. Like, whenever I feel really happy, I want to play music. Like, whenever I feel really sad, I gotta go to music. So it definitely gave me like a go-to for any emotion. And then whenever I'm going through things, music is the main thing that kind of helps me through it. Because like everybody speaks their pain through the music. Like everybody has their message that they're trying to convey. You got your people that when they're going through a breakup, they listen to sad songs just to let it all out. And then you got the ones that listen to the empowerment songs to lift them up. So it's like, it definitely been like a roller coaster when it comes to music, but it gave me like, you know, something to really go to.
Yeah, that's what's up. I can definitely say the same thing. As a kid, I moved around a lot. I moved 7 times in 6 different states.
Damn,
so,
you know, it's crazy. I moved 8. I never met someone that moved that much. Yeah, that's tough.
But it's like, for me, music was like, you hear certain music in certain places when you go through certain things and certain emotions that you feel. And then it's like, I hear the song again later in life, and I can remember how I felt when I first heard this and came out, and it's able to like take me back to the time. So like, I hear music, so I was like, sometimes music is a thing for me where it's like, it can show how much I've grown since that song came out. Because I remember how I felt when that song came out, and I'm looking at where I'm at now. And
now we older, we can really like feel the words and stuff.
And it's motivation. It helps keep me going.
Yeah.
So, tell us how you came up with your name.
So Tinkaa G is my artist name. Basically, growing up, I was a big tomboy. So I was always in the park playing basketball, things like that. So at first, like, I was named Barbie because I was like the pretty girl that knew how to play type shit. But it was one day I was there and somebody just started calling me Tinka, like Tinkerbell type shit. Because like I'm always helping people. Like anybody that knows me, I'm a big-hearted person. But I also like I got my little feisty side to me or whatever. So it went from Tinkerbell to Tinkaa G because the G in my name stands for great. Everybody always talking about, oh, is it gang related? No, guys, no gang relations. The G is for great. So it's basically Tinka the Great type shit.
That's what's up. So now let's talk about your career and kind of where you're at now. First, I would like to congratulate you on your success.
Thank you.
Thus far, you're gaining popularity. You got shows and music, and when I listen to your music, I can tell that it comes from the heart and that it's genuine because of what you talk about. I can tell that it's real life experiences that you talk about, and I think that's what sets you apart and was why you're rising so fast, because a lot of people who want to make it in the industry today want to copy somebody to take the easy way out.
Yeah.
But in order to make it, you got to be different. You got to find something that separates yourself from everybody else. And you are definitely doing that.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you, what is your songwriting process like?
So there is no like blueprint to how I songwrite, right? That's one thing I learned about just being a creative. Like you're definitely inspired in different ways at different points, and that's ever changing, especially for me. So I'm gonna say like there's been times where I would feel an intense emotion, and at that moment I gotta write it down. Like I gotta get it out. Same way how people journal. Like I gotta write the song. Or it could be like I'm on the bus. It's like I'm very weird because I can write in the studio, like, but like I love writing in like abstract places, like just the randomest places. So I could be on the bus, and just because it's like so much going on. You got the people sitting on there, the old lady complaining in the back, shit like that. I could write songs on the bus, like, but it's just all about that spark of creativity. So it could be in a studio session with a producer that's playing me some fire ass beats, and now my brain is going, like, or it could be on the bus, like, so it's just all about like whatever inspires me, then I'm gonna just go write, like, and it takes me about, when I'm really going, I could write a whole song in an hour. If it's something that's really coming from the heart at times, I find myself going back to it. Like, I may write one verse, a hook, like, because I don't want to rush it. Like, if anybody can rhyme, but, like, when you're really putting your heart in that shit, you can't, like, force it out. You got to really let it come, so.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. So I really like your music. I listen to every song that's out.
Hey, that's
every
crazy.
song that's out. It's a few songs, like I said, where your lyrics tell a story. So there's a few songs that I wanted to ask you about. First, I want to ask you about your song "Stupid."
Of course.
Because what I got from it was that went through maybe like a heartbreak or a breakup or something, but you realize that I'm better off without that, and he lost. So I kind of want you to tell me the story, the inspiration behind that song.
So with "Stupid," it was basically like one of those just got pushed to the edge song, you feel me?
Okay.
Like, it's not like a Target, what's that song, like a shot song. Like, this is all about that one ex that really did it. Like, no. It was one of those moments where it's like, you know, I would talk to somebody, wouldn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm reminiscing on my past relationships based on one that kind of pushed it to the edge. So it was like, that song was really just a generalization of anybody that ever dated me and did me wrong type shit. Gotcha. So it's like, you know, you missed out. Your girl never beat me type, like just little random things, but it all kind of came together in a way where it's just like, you know, this to everybody, all my exes, like y'all gonna get it.
So while we on this, if you could give one piece of advice to the young girls out there that's watching that's going through what you went through, where it feels like every time they get into maybe like a relationship or a situation, and it feels like they lost. You know what I mean? What would you say to those young girls?
Exactly what I'm gonna say. Don't blame yourself when things go wrong, because it's not your fault. Because I know, like, a lot of girls, like, whenever it won't work, they'll question themselves. Like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done? Type things like that. That's his fault, not your fault. Feel me? Everything happens for a reason. Going through your little thing to get stronger, but don't blame yourself. Like, they definitely gotta hear that. Like,
that's what's up. I hope the young girls took their pen and pad already, gonna rewind so they could get that down. That's so the next one I want to ask you about is your song "Rock Steady." I really like the meaning behind it. It's very inspiring. I felt like from what it was saying, it's like when you're stay strong through the tough times, so that when the tough times is over, it just make life a little bit easier. Yes. Right. So I want to ask you, what is something that you dealt with in your life where you felt like you had to be rock steady?
So I'm gonna just talk about like the inspiration for the song. Basically, my life has, you know, been up and down like everybody else's. We all go through our little lessons and stuff. I'm gonna say at one point for my life, I thought I had everything together. Like, I knew what I wanted. You know how you write that little 3-year, 5-year plan, whatever it is. I thought I was gonna go to college, graduate with a bachelor's in music business, either be in the music business, managing myself, because now I got all that under my belt. So like when I dropped out, that was the first like, all right, thing, like, because I couldn't afford to continue. So then it's like, I went through a period of time where I wasn't working. So I don't know why, like, sometimes I go through these little spells where it's like, you're your worst enemy type shit. And it's just all about getting that drive again type shit. So when I wrote Rock Steady, I was working at McDonald's. I felt like my music wasn't really going anywhere. Like, I was dropping music, felt like I was performing a little bit, but I wasn't really getting enough opportunity to do what I needed. So I almost, you know, I was in a very dark place, and I was just like not giving up, but like I was really ready to stop it for a little bit and just work. So working at McDonald's, I was speaking to one of my friends, and she was basically telling me like, you have to just make time for everything. Like, you can still put 3 hours in the music today and still say you did something, you feel me? So every day, like, I would just set aside a couple hours where I would write a song, watch a documentary, read a book that has to do with music, and basically fill my mind with that. Yeah, when I was working at McDonald's, my goal was to quit because I wanted to take music full time, but I was always scared. So it's just like every day reminding myself, like, okay, you got this, like, keep pushing, keep going. And after quitting McDonald's, that's when I got the opportunity to work here at Sloppy Vinyl. So it's just like the moments when you really think it's not happening for me, like maybe I should stop, could be that moment when you could have reached your success, but you quit on yourself type shit. So
Right.
yeah, Rock Steady is just the anthem for everybody to just keep going. Just like the title, like Rock Steady through all of BS. Like it doesn't matter what it is. We all have a story, and the grass is never green on the other side type shit.
Right. I like that. Another one, the last song I'm gonna ask you about is your song Mine. So when I look at like the numbers that your songs did for like the amount of streams, it's like she got Stupid 8,000 number 2. And then number 1 is Mine.
Yeah.
452,000 plus streams. And you did that without any major marketing.
Facts.
Or any major advertisement. How did you do that?
This is another reason why I gotta rock steady. Like, it's crazy because Mine was actually my first song I recorded. So I dropped Mine about 2 years ago. Like I said, no major marketing, no anything. I made a little trailer, posted on the gram. Hoped it was gonna go viral. Didn't go viral, but you know, still kept it going. With Mine, I actually, like, at one point kind of gave up on the song. Like, I was like, if it's not going now, because like I didn't understand the business, I stopped posting it. So a year goes by. I dropped Stupid, I dropped Trusting You, like all these other songs. And I go back and I look at my Spotify for Artists one day, and it goes from, you know, bubbling at 3 listeners a day, 2 listeners. And it went up to like 400 one day. So I was like, 400? Okay. So looking at the locations, it was bouncing like New York, Atlanta, things like that. I look at it again, and I'm leveling out every day. So I'm like, I'm getting about 400, 500 every day. Then as the months went by, that went up and up. Like right now I get about, on that song alone, probably about 1,200 listeners a day. So I'm like, damn, like, so it's just one of those moments where it's just like, you never know what's gonna happen with your music.
Right.
So that kind of spread organically. Like it's in places like California. I've never been to California.
Right.
So it's just crazy how that happened without me even posting on my social media. So I know it picked up a lot of the algorithmic playlists and things like that. But I guess when people like what they hear, like, you know, it just spreads. Like, but I definitely am grateful for that, because I was gonna give up on that song, and that definitely showed me like, don't delete anything. Like, just keep dropping. And if you create something that you feel as though is of value and that people will really listen to, then go ahead and put it out. Like, because you never know what's gonna happen to it.
That's true. Like you said, it's a consistency.
Yeah.
See where the consistency got you right there. The proof.
Facts.
That's the proof right there. Second, I want to congratulate you on your, you know, getting signed with Sloppy Vinyl.
Thank you.
I know when I first met you, it was like you had just recently got signed. Today, there's a lot of, you know, since the pandemic started, a lot of artists learned that they don't need necessarily a label to get fame and get streams and make money from their music. So what I wanted to ask you is, what is so special about Sloppy Vinyl? As you said, even though I can still do my thing without signing to a label, because clearly you could. So what was it about Sloppy Vinyl that was special to you that was like, I'm gonna sign to them?
So I'm gonna say this, like, before I signed with Sloppy Vinyl, I was definitely on go hard, you know, independent artist. I don't need nobody, like, I don't got no team, you know, all by myself type shit. What I also learned from this music, before I even say my opinion, is everybody knows what's best for them. If you feel as though a situation is gonna help you and that's the best for your career, then by all means do it. Rather that's independent, rather that's signing to an independent or even a major deal. I'm gonna say for me, like I said at the time of my music, I didn't really understand the business side. So I was just learning. I was just reading books, seeing all about like submitting your music to playlists, getting ads going, press runs, like really putting in marketing in your music and what that can really do. Because it's like, from where we're from, we don't have that many role models that made it out and that are in our area to tell us like, okay, you have to do this, you have to do that. All we look at is a TV or a social media post and like, all right, they just posting their music and they did this. Like, that's all I got to do. Like, people would drop songs every day, not marketing anything. Like, so with me, I always wanted a team. Like, so coming to Sloppy Vinyl, I came in as a recording artist. I was basically a client, so I just wanted studio time. After getting a studio time, one of the other signed artists, R&B Hunter, he had a release party. I never had been to an artist release party before. Felt like at the time of my career, I would have been to many, but that was actually my first. So going to that release party, I met so many other artists, photographers, designers. Like, there were so many people in the industry, like, as far as coming up. just in that one room. So immediately I felt a different vibration than I ever felt before. Because it's like, wow, these are people that do what I do. You feel me? Normally I'm the one out of my friends, everybody, supporting and stuff, but I don't really have a network of people that do what I do.
Yeah.
So walking into that was definitely like a eye-opening experience. Like, okay, I like what they doing over there, whatever. Then James, who's also the CEO of the label, I got cool with him. He asked me if I wanted to help manage the studio location for the label. So I'm like, all right, like, get in that way. So now I'm managing the location. I'm meeting so many creatives, so many artists. And basically, it was just seeing how they had a team going with also allowing the artists to have creative control. Because it's like we have our videographers, we have our A&Rs, we have our producers, we have design artists, things like that. So just seeing how everybody supported each other definitely made me want to be a part of that environment. But yeah, and now we're here. Like, but it's definitely been lit since I've been here. Like, I've definitely been able to see a lot more into the business than I was able to on my own. So it just showed me like, yes, there are people that can do it on their own. There's nothing wrong with doing it on your own, but there's also nothing wrong with getting the help as well. So just being in this environment definitely keeps me motivated because I have people next to me that's doing what I'm doing as well, but are also different because we all make different music and we all just want the same thing. So it's definitely been a dope experience on some like creatives helping creatives kind of thing.
That's good. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Your career is taking off. You're signed to a label now. You got shows coming up, more music on the way.
Yes.
So tell us, what is it like in the day of life of Tinkaa G?
In the day of the life of Tinkaa G.
Yeah.
It's ever changing. It's unexpected. Waking up now, I could either be coming here to open up the studio, start a session, going over to do a meeting at our other studio. Here, I kind of navigate artists through the resources that they need. So it can either be studio time. Artists may come and say, hey, I have a release, a video on YouTube. I need YouTube ads done. So it's like coming here, I step out of helping myself and go to helping others. And then it could be bounced back to me going to shoot a video, me going to do a recording session, me just going to New York to network with a DJ that I'm just trying to meet, you feel me, to make that connection. Like, so it's definitely like not a stable day life. Like, I'm definitely everywhere at one time, but every day is gonna be something that has to do with music. So a day in the life of Tinkaa is lit.
What has been the most memorable experience so far in your career?
I'm gonna say SOBs.
What's that?
SOBs is a legendary venue in New York. A lot of popular artists kind of performed at that venue before they blew up. So it's like one of those, like, you know how Apollo, a lot of big artists kind of been there, things like that. That's how SOBs is. So I'm gonna say, for me, SOBs, even though like it's a venue in New York, I performed there in September of this year. It was one of the biggest moments for me because I remember when I first was starting to drop music, I performed background for this artist named Misha. She's from Jersey. I remember she came to my college, NJCU, and she needed background dancers. So I danced background for her, and she had a show at SOBs. So just performing background, that was like one of those rooms that had so many like artists in it. Like, I remember seeing so many chains. Like, I can't really remember the scenery that much because I wasn't really in the music scene as I should. But I definitely saw like a lot of people that knew what they was doing, like as far as the performances goes, everything. So it was like an inspirational moment for me instantly. Like, okay, no matter what, I have to perform on the stage. Like, before I blow up anything, like, I want to pass through this stage. So being here, so being here at Sloppy Vinyl just gave me the opportunity to just show what I can do, like, at an actual performance venue. So, like, I have my dancers. I choreographed the dances in like a day. Like, we was just in here working, promoting, really pushing tickets. Cause like I never did a show in New York. So it just like going out to the city, passing out flyers, having conversations. But that was definitely one of the most memorable moments cause it was stressful, but it came together. Like,
yeah, it all worked itself out.
Yeah, SOBs was jumping.
So now let's talk about what's next for you in your career. So when can we expect to hear some more music from you?
Okay, so Stupid's video is gonna come out in March. So following Stupid, I'm really trying to focus on showing everybody what I can really do as far as different genres in music. A lot of people, when they hear Stupid, they just automatically see me as female rapper. A lot of people don't know that I have a very heavy singing background. Like, I'm classically trained. I love harmonies. I love melodies. Like, singing is definitely like the biggest part of me. So this year I'm just planning on showing more of my singing side, continue to be vulnerable in my music, and definitely showing more videos, because Stupid is going to be my first actual video of my own. Like, I only have a feature video out. So
Right.
definitely just being more visually present to everybody, and then of course more shows. Like, I can't stop
Right.
the shows.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with that, the sky is the limit. To be versatile and to be genuine, nothing's gonna be able to stop you.
Facts. Tinkaa take over.
So before it's all said and done, what career goals do you have for yourself?
Career goals. So I'm not the type of person that's really chasing like the awards, like the big awards, the recognition, things like that. I'm gonna say in my career, I really just want to get as many like loyal fans, touch as many people as possible, and really travel as much as possible. Cause it's like traveling last year definitely showed me like the different energies, the different types of people that you meet in different locations. I just want to spread my sound like all over as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Cause like all my songs, I have my songs that, I talk about obviously the breakup,
Right.
the revenge songs, but I also have my inspirational music too.
Oh, for
like
sure.
that I want to help people for real. Like, mental health is a crazy thing.
That's a
Like,
real
a lot
thing.
of people don't address it. So in my music, with me being vulnerable and trying to tell my story, I just want to use that to try to help as many people as possible. And like I said, just spread the love everywhere. Like, so as far as my career, like, I just want to keep doing things that I've never done. Like new sounds, new visuals. But the sky's the limit. Like, I don't really have like I have to do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm
Right.
just kind of living. Like,
Absolutely.
but yeah.
So now we're down to our final question.
Okay.
And this is the question I ask every upcoming artist that comes on the show. I want you to tell the people why it's only a matter of time before you go viral and everybody knows you worldwide.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this, like, I'm not really chasing that viral moment. You
Okay.
feel me? Not everybody kind of just want that
Right.
as soon as I go viral. But I'm gonna definitely say, they better watch out for me, because I've been working for a minute now. Like, I definitely record almost every day. I've been really trying to soak up my mind with as much music as possible, like podcasts. Like, it's like, I'm like, you ever seen that SpongeBob episode when he was like fine dining whining? Like, he threw everything out his brain. That's where I'm on right now. So the fact that I'm so focused, I can only magnetize like what I'm dreaming about. So there's only a matter of time, because I know God got me. Like, the people that look up to me, everybody that's been pushing me, I definitely appreciate the support. And with all that energy, like, it's only a matter of time before I blow. So
That's right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in. That's the second episode of Matter of Time, and stay tuned for more.